smash that like button. Woo!
Like and subscribe.
After a good night's sleep, we're ready to go. Day one. Rained all night, so the road is a little bit of a stream. It's the very start. Coming out of our hotel, we've got to go through the town a little bit. But this is where you go up in there somewhere. It rained last night, and this sluice is overwhelmed. It's the spray. Walking through Les Ouches. Early morning. Onto the ski lift. Our car comes out of the mist. Come up on a cable car, which is what pretty much everyone does, and this is the view you get, and this is the ski bowl for this region. A little bit of going over routes. Another gate, but this is all about putting up your tents. Basically, it's prohibited along here. Bit of a steep zigzag downhill, but we come up onto the first bit of this little saddle, but when you turn around and look up, that's what you get. Just going up some contour lines to get up and over this saddle, but people are coming up slowly. I'm across the valley, but all I can hear is this water coming out from the glacier. Oh, just at the top, looking down at a valley. Having gone up one contour line, they turn you around and take you back along another contour line, heading for that gap. A series of these switchbacks, very short switchbacks. Sometimes it's wet, sometimes it isn't, but they go all the way down the valley, and you can see all the people. So, day one of Tour de Mont Blanc. Been up and over 2,000 metre col, and now we're going down the other side, basically following a waterfall, it appears, but the path is a waterfall, We've been very lucky with the weather. It's been fantastic weather. Goes all the way up the top there. So, not much of the day left, but let's see where it takes us. There we come down into a valley with another coal and mountain to one side. And it's coming down in the next valley. Just beautiful. Yeah, the public toilet and fresh water right beside a raging stream. Hour and 15 apparently. Doesn't do it in distance, does it in time it takes to get there. Come up just that little short up. That scar in the middle is where we came over, and these are the Glacier de Mirage or something. We kept on going to a quieter auberge, and yeah, had a nice blueberry tart. They want to keep you in one place, so they give you this awkward style. Some big French cows. Last little downhill section before we get to our accommodation for the night. Coming down into the village. So I just got to find the accommodation. We'll be down to find our accommodation for the night. I think it's just on the edge of town. Into our room. Woo. And we get to look. It's a busy start to the day. Everybody heading the same way. First minor bridge. It's a motorway of people. Early flat bit to the day. Monsieur Donkey. Taking control of the name Gorge. Just walking up this road path, following everybody. It's a busy, busy day. There's a natural arch of the raging river. Accommodation en route, if you wanted it. The local council checking on something. Off they go. Hello, mate. Hello. Noisy cowbells. We've been walking about 15 minutes since the last free water. And here's another water stop. quick break for 5-10 minutes. Public toilets, restaurant. Route up. French sheep, and looking over them is the dog. There's another guard dog. Just to climb up this scree slope and over the top. Going up through the meltwater or scree slope, the snow. Just come onto a little bit of snow and you turn around. What a view. And up in there, where those little fingers of snow, there are some ibex, which I can see with the naked eye, but I can't see with my mobile. Hoping for an epic view as we come up this ridge. You get to the top of the pass and there's loads of people all having lunch.
Yes.
There's a beautiful tarn, Lac Jove, that's come out of the mist. Down into the valley, and a refuge you could stay at, but we're going up and over that. A low cloud is coming in. Nice waterfall. But it goes underneath that bit of snow that we walked over. Stop for another break at the next col. You get this fantastic view. Over the second col, and then it looks like we've got a zigzag, zigzag, zigzag all the way down into the valley. Tiny, tiny, tiny snow bridge. You can hear the water underneath it from here. So at some point it's going to collapse. Maybe a bit scary. Snow bridge has collapsed there, so we're having to come across this bit. Another amazing view on the way down. Slightly different slope up here. Last few zigzags before we get to our accommodation. But look at those steep mountains. After a long, long day, that's a welcome sign. A refugio. Everybody's up for the 7:30 bus, the 8 o'clock bus, and the 8:30 bus. There goes our bus. And this is the bus stop. And we've got to go down across the valley. So our first task is to go down these paths, cross over where that building is. (1946). A Boeing B-17 bomber crashed in these hills. These are the guys. All the cows. Goats. A series of zigzags between the wildflowers. Just going up the hill. From up the valley. There's a road going down all the way between those mountains. Coming up to the first obstacle. And that's Mont Blanc behind those clouds. Coming down the valley with Mont Blanc there on our left. It's the magical kingdom. You just look at these hills and peaks and Tour de Mont Blanc. Big gravel path. Ooh, goes under the snow. We're into this bowl now. Getting past that building in the distance. Just beautiful landscape. It is no more. The glaciers look almost blue. Just a little bit ahead on a military road before we get to our next ascent. Here we are again, day 3 of Tour de Mont Blanc. Slightly easier day, it suggests, but it's all relative. We had to go up one col, come down the other side, and then we're going through a valley at the moment on a military road, and then we got to go over another col at the end, and then halfway down we have our accommodation. So, utterly stunning scenery. It's difficult to know when to stop taking photos. Still relatively high up. We've come down off one col, And there is this almost like a floodplain. Little trees, vegetation. It's quite beautiful, really. Sudden change. Let's go uphill, leaving the lake and the mountains behind us. Another amazing waterfall. Moving at pace. There are no visible paths on any of this, so I hope we're turning left. A bit of contour walking, and hopefully that over the top there is the finish. So we come up from that valley, up another 4,000 feet. Another intrepid cyclist. It's quite a path to walk, so cycling is pretty difficult. Sometimes you just have to stop and stare. Look at that. You hear helicopters all day. You wonder what's happening. I'm not sure if this is a warning or a national sport. More traversing of contour lines. Should be a couple of kilometres away from our accommodation for the night. Last little bit through the trees. I think we're coming down to a ski resort, or some of the buildings for the ski resort. So we'll find out. We've arrived. Yay. Long hot day, but this is our accommodation for the night. Morning wake-up call from all the cows as we come down the valley. Something set them off, all coming with us down the valley. Walking down through all the ski infrastructure to get down to Courmayeur, Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Here are the Alps. And then down there. Back and forth, down into Courmayeur. Coming down into Courmayeur, past all the ski infrastructure for little kids. Entry point. And the town spreads out across the valley. There you come into the village. And there's water. And water for your horses. church, and we go off that way. Through Courmayeur, and then out the back. Just outside Courmayeur, a little bit contrived, but it's a waterfall. Oh, this is a tough up. Where is he? Lunch at a refugio, and this is the view you get for your lunch. Looking out on the valley and Courmayeur below. I'd much rather do this bit with trees to my left, but you're a long way up and it's a long drop down.
And there's lots of it.
Here we are, day 4 on Tour de Mont Blanc. This one we got up in the morning, went down, goodness knows how far, took an hour and 3/4 to get through Courmayeur, to go back out Courmayeur, to go up to Refuge Bonatti, I think it is. No, not Refuge Bonatti, that's one we're going to a refuge, had a quick stop for a drink. And now we've got a 2-hour peramble, I think, round contour lines with snow-capped mountains to one side and alpine meadows to the other. If I turn around, this is what you get. There's Caroline. This is what you get on one side of you, and then on the other side, although there are trees at the moment, I got out into the open, it's just alpine meadow. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But not much of the day left, but in any case, let's see where the day takes us. Look at this thing. I think the rest of the day is just to walk to the end of the valley. There's a refugio up there somewhere. And then we come down from there and get a bus back all the way to Courmayeur, to where we're staying, and then the following morning get the bus all the way back and walk up the hill. Just the variety of flowers. Unbelievable. Really beautiful. Lunch. And my lunch view. Slowly getting closer to the end of the valley. So we're just following a contour line, which is really quite nice. And we'll get there when we get there. A slightly different water crossing. Go up the side, a little bit slippy, and then cross. beautiful falls. Oh. Looking down on us. Arrived. Whew. Sitting outside the Refugio Bonatti. So, down from Refugio Bonatti, because we're not staying there. And we've got a 1,500 metre path or so. Not quite sure how far it drops. We've got to come up this path tomorrow. So, yeah. If we'd been able to stay on that one, wow, we'd be looking at the Italian Alps all night. Oh well. What a beautiful waterfall. So we're down at the bottom of the mountain, waiting for the bus to take us back to Courmayeur. And that's the bus that we have to take back again. What a place. And then we have to look up at that all night. Oh, it's the morning. What can I see? First task this morning, to go and get the bus to take us back to where we were yesterday. So, couldn't get accommodation where we finished yesterday, so we had to get the bus back into Courmayeur, where we have accommodation. And now we're just going back to the bus station, catch the free bus to go back again. This is today's starting point. Incredible. From a distance I read this as up and over, but up and over. Up and over. So yesterday we were up over that ridge at the Refugio. We came down the valley, took a bus into Courmayeur. We've come back again, come up the valley, and we're slowly making our way up to a col. Last few miles of Italy before we get into Switzerland. Far fewer people today. Maybe we started a bit earlier, but oh, it's so beautiful. A small pocket out of the sun. The snow's still here. You get up to the end of the valley, there's a Refugio. Wow, that's cool. So we're at the Refugio at the top of the valley. You can stay here if you wish. That's looking down. This is the Refugio. Keep going up. and up and up. We're about 2/3 of the way up our climb today, first climb. But this is the view you get with all the glaciers. And then down the valley that we were up. And then on the left hand side, that's where we were yesterday, walking across that. Oh, what a hike. Getting to the top of the col, you can always tell loads of people there, but there's a lot of young people out trail running. It's incredible. Oh, we reached the top, and that's where we got to go down. Yeah, there are mad people. So, Italy, border, Switzerland. Into Switzerland. We have a 10k roughly downhill. This side of the Massif, the mountains are a bit more weathered and a bit rounder. From up there, these are lovely Swiss mountains. New country, new poles. Oh, a nice little beetle. Now a nice gentle drop into the valley. You've still got all the beautiful mountains around you with snow. Just a drop into the valley. Yep. Disappears over the mountain. We're hugging a contour line to go round to the left somewhere into a valley. But it's beautiful. It's really funny. You go out and you hike, and you carry your backpack, but would you carry your bike up a hill? The wonderful thing about hills is things can be completely hidden. So you come around the corner and there's a cafe, somewhere to sit, get something to drink. Really funny. And you get to look at the mountains. The hillside is just full of these beautiful little plants. We're following a well-trodden contour line high above the valley. So another 4 or 5 kilometers to go, I think. I think all we've got is contour lines and easy walking. Somebody's been through here with a strimmer, cut back all the undergrowth. Just wandering on down the contour line, still with unbelievable views. Big build up. We're on the Swiss side now, so we have the Swiss cows with their bells. I'm gonna take a shortcut and miss some of them, but I've got 2 down here that are close to the signs. It's huge. So we're coming down through some woods, but the big point here is the cows have been in here and they've cleaned out everything. So they get a good diet here in Switzerland, but they certainly eat what appears to be everything. A Swiss style to stop cows coming through. Down into the valley, the last couple of kilometres beside the river. Very fast flowing. Then, a lovely bridge. Pretty high. Down through the forest to the river, cross the river, and then walk into town. Coming into town. It rained and rained overnight, electric storms, so everybody's up in their rain gear. It's a wet day, but thankfully we are in the valley going through some forests. But better than being out and exposed on the hills. The trail of pack covers down the valley. Oh. It comes out of the mist. Back and forth. Back and forth. A little bit rocky, but we're in the forest, following a contour line. All pretty normal walking. But starting to hear some birds. Bit of a right turn.
Hey, where'd you guys come from?
We're caught in the middle of a lightning storm, so we're staying under cover until hopefully it passes over. Through that little village and then come through the back and off we go. down into the valley with the massif off to our left. Sheep up the hill and all the little ones huddling under the tree. So, we came to the right of the snowy bit, down into the valley, and we've come along the valley through these little villages. Beautiful. A little bit squelchy after all the rain. Day 6, and this is the first piece of road walking we've done. There's no more than 200 yards before we go off and up into the hills again. Day 6. Very wet start to the day. We had thunderstorms overnight. I'm glad I wasn't in a tent. And up until about 12 o'clock noontime, we've had thunderstorms. It's not the most difficult day. We're going down a valley, just a little down, a little up. But we're taking our time because it has been very wet. But then we've had some amazing sunny days when we've been up in the mountains. But just looking around, yeah, it's beautiful. Just came through that village. And we've got to go up into there somewhere. So, yeah, day 6, not too bad. But let's see where the rest of the day takes us. Interesting marker sign. Into the dark. I'm in Switzerland, but this sort of terrain and contour hugging and trees, and it's very reminiscent of other walks I've done. Another wood sculpture. You can go that way. You're almost at the top of the climb to find somebody lives here. Drinks halfway up the mountain. Another sculpture. Mr. Frog. The lake at Champay. Just waiting for an hour or so before our gîte opens. The last few hundred meters before our refugio. Start the day, walk down a small country road, see the yellow signs, water rushing down. It rained again last night. This one is huge. Moving along. Back into the forest. Tiny ponies. just a steady up on this slightly rocky surface, up through the forest. At the moment there's no breeze, and it's a bit like walking in a sauna, so just taking it steady. Crossing roll. I haven't seen a trail mark for quite a while, but that's okay. There's the view of the valley. Clouds have come in, so not much to see. Oh, that was a steep incline. And now we're high up the valley. Back to the top in the clouds. Whew. There are some figures in the gloom ahead, but after about 50 yards you just can't see them. Some seasonal farm buildings coming out of the mist right up on the col. Not getting any closer. A busy cafe at the col. Just having the cloud coming through. Cloud has lifted. Now we can see where we're off to through that forest. Beautiful high landscape. And then when we look down into the valley, all we have is cloud. Well, bilberries, not blueberries. Can't see too much today, all in the clouds. Day 7 is probably the shortest day, I think. It's in Switzerland. Ooh, just going downhill. It's just really down a valley, up and over a col, and a little bit more on the valley. And then we get picked up for accommodation because there isn't much around in that area. But at the moment I'm just going down the rocky descent. Today it's cool, as you can see from the cloud behind. There's a lot of low cloud, mist, whatever you want to call it. So it's cooler. It's much easier to walk in that weather. but you don't get to see much. So on our way down, but let's see where the rest of the day takes us. If you stop just for a minute, all you can hear are cowbells, but you can't see anything. Quite a decent downhill like this. It's through the mist. It's so atmospheric. Go off into the mist. There are cows over there somewhere. Following the edge of the field, well, it is the path. And I swing round. There. In the mist. Some of the locals walking up or pushing their bikes up. Ooh. These are Swiss livestock fences, 2 little bits of cord which you get used to up and around on the Swiss part of the walk. And every now and again you're given a sign and a random piece of fencing. To a corner as we come down the rock path, and it breaks out and gives us a little view of the valley stretching out for miles, and the zigzag roads and the huge conurbation in the distance. Pop out of the deep forest, as it were, over the hills, and you do get some roads and accommodation which is through those trees. So we're in Martigny. And this is the hotel we stayed in last night. So, start of the walk at Trient. Then we go down and then we go up again. Imagine waking up to that every day. Coming into the start for the day, walking through some villages on the cold side of the mountain. Woo. The Thru hiker campsite beneath the glacier. Hello, you. The mist on one side of the glacier. Slowly going up and up and up on a series of zigzags. Whew. Relentless. Yeah, we're getting higher. So the col de Forclaz is that little green patch that we came over yesterday. Down into the valley and up into this path to go over the next col. Slowly reaching the pass, the col. But when you look back, that's what you're coming up. That's where we're off to. Across there and up to that hut. Last 250 meters or so, and then we should be at the col. And as is the case with loads of hills in this part of Switzerland, you come across crosses. Not sure what this is at the summit, but yeah, the valley. And at the top of the col, a refuge. Somebody get food. And leading up to it are all these flowers. When you spent 2.5 hours working your way up to the col, and then you get this lovely contour path that pretty much takes you all the way to the top of that next little green hillock. Oh, life's a good one. We've left Switzerland and we're now in France. Not a gendarme in sight. What a path, what a beautiful view you get. This is what it's about. Slowly losing altitude as we come down into sort of a high valley, but all the time across from us is Mont Blanc. Day 8, Tour de Mont Blanc. So this is when we get back into France. So start in France, through Italy, through Switzerland, and now back to France. And it then means we get into the main section where you can see Mont Blanc and all the big glaciers. So I've been really lucky with the weather. It's cleared up for today. And we're just making our way up and over a col. And then finally to our overnight accommodation, which I think is on trail. So let's see where the rest of the day takes us. In the beautiful meadow, in the bowls, you have all the ski run names for this region. Lunch. Looking the other way from the Mont Blanc Massif. You have some other hills, mountains, and a huge dam. up and over this col, or rather this mountain. It's a bit of a train, but we are in high season. It's a little bit like a Franconia ridge, just on a ridge line, working our way up to the top. As always, water right at the top of the mountain. The top is full of Instagram people wanting to get the best picture they can. It's an amazing scene, utterly incredible, on a beautiful day. This is our path back, all the way down there. So there is Chamonix in the valley beneath Mont Blanc. So that path, zigzagging up, going up, across, and across. We were wondering how we were going to lose height. The answer is they're giving you a staircase down the mountain. The last kilometre and a half of the day. Come out down from the mountain towards the valley, although fairly high. Go into forest, then the forest path spreads out into this huge thing we're on now. But it's been a good day, had lovely weather, incredible views of Mont Blanc and everything. So just 20 minutes to 30 minutes to go, and then we'll be done for the day. Last little bit is along the road to the refuge, which might be those buildings just there.
That's a wagtail.
Okay. There's a balcony, there's a higgledy-piggledy building. We are in here. 6 people. In here. This is where we're staying tonight. side.
They're asking about
The start to the 9th day. We've got to make our way up to a ridge run and up and see a lake. But we start in a nice cool forest. An early boardwalk going uphill. A long drag up. Whew. So we're coming up the mountain pass. It goes up there as we're trying to get round this big outcrop. A favoured place for rock climbers. It's a rocky goat path up the side of the mountain. A famous pinnacle rock, and there's somebody climbing it. This is the next section. Some of the last ladders to get up this side. We come up 8 or 12 ladders to the top of this rock face. The guy's climbing that pinnacle, and we started the other side of that village. Whew. Having gone up the first set of ladders, I think we've got a little pause before we go up some more. Oh, it's tough. You didn't realise how much energy you lose, probably nervous energy, going up a set of ladders. Oh.
Jette tes bâtons.
Oui, mais je vais attendre.
Getting higher, slowly. Last few meters until we get to the top. Look at the view. Another marker point. If you come from behind there, you come up through the ladders. If you come up from over here, you missed out the ladders. We all joined together to head off to the lake. Those two little lakes are a little bit more impressive further away you get. Wow. Not Lac LeBlanc, Chezeris or something like that lake. Below the col, and we've got to go up to those buildings up there. Le Lac Blanc, a tourist hotspot. You can come up via a cable car and have a short walk. A popular place. A small boardwalk right at the top, or near the top, just coming down from the lake, about to join up with the main path down, but you still see the massif. This is one long rocky descent. Clearly filled it in with lots of small rocks, but it just means that everything's unstable. So make our way down. There's a concert going on at that lake, which we can hear, so see if you get there and see the end of it. A much nicer, easier path, but I think most people come up on the cable car and those buildings down there and then go up to the lake, so they're doing a good walk. It's not an easy walk, but that's why we're seeing people in trainers and t-shirts and stuff with no equipment. Beginning to get down to the ski resort part, ski lift part. So we get boardwalk, we get slightly better paths, and then we see some of the ski infrastructure. But still, you're given that to look to your left hand side the whole walk. Some Chamonix ski runs. The concert goers going back to the chairlift. Chairlift in full operation, taking people down to Chamonix. And now we get onto the route between the two chairlifts. Didn't know what time we'd get to the first one, but they close at 4:30. Gives us a few hours to get to the next one, so hopefully we'll make it. Otherwise we've got a long walk back to Chamonix. And hopefully this is a lot of contouring. Whew. A nice rock platform. Takes in a number of rock slides, so rock bridges. I heard voices, couldn't see anything, so I looked up and there are loads of people mountain climbing. And there we are, day 9, Tour de Mont Blanc. Yeah, quite a tough day, tough opening to the day. Climb up to 2,300 meters, it's quite a climb. And within that, they give you a whole series of ladders to go up vertical slopes, because there isn't really a path. So, just get on, you do. But again, we've had fantastic weather. We're just working our way between 2 chairlifts, and the second one we'll take back down to Chamonix, where we have accommodation for the night. But yeah, fantastic day. So let's see where the last few hours take us. Nice little boarded section. Very much into the ski centre, Chamonix, and even up there, just about see them, some paragliders. Coming up the valley. Rescue. There he goes. 2 of them. Wow. Live rescue. Coming into the telecabine. But that's what we're supposed to get down to Chamonix. Wow. Doors closed, come on. Thank you. Waking up in the morning to the sound of water. The perfect takeoff point for all the paragliders. going down into Chamonix, and off they go. Whew. Day 10, Tour de Mont Blanc. So our task today is to do the last climb up to the top of Le Brevant, I think it's called, and then a long descent. But we came up on the cable car that we went down on yesterday. Cable car down there, all the mountains behind us. So we're going up the side of this mountain, go around the back, and it looks like you do an awful lot of zigzags around the back. And once we get to the top of that, then it's just a downhill into La Houche, and that will be Tour de Mont Blanc completed. But let's see where the rest of the day takes us. Bit of a fairly wide goat track. I'm hugging the right hand side a bit because it's a bit of a sheer drop on the left, but just going up. Oh, what a view. One side of these zigzags just feels like you're going to fall off the edge. You see these huge mountains in the path, you can't see where it goes. Then you get to the edge and it turns back on itself. The James Bond cable car. Almost at the top, and it gets very cold, very cool, and we've got a bit of permanent snow to cross before we get to the very top. On this last section, we're high up in the mountain. There's permanent snow everywhere. Woo. Not something you get in England. So we've come over that, and now we're making our way around the corner, and I can see some people way over there. Come up behind Brevant, and what a view you get of mountains and rock strata. It appears you follow the yellow dots on this mountain. Follow the yellow dots, and it broadly is a path. Get off this and you're climbing up a scree slope. Whew. Hopefully only a few hundred meters to go, but you never know. You're taking over small bits of snow, some rock scrambles around some contour lines, and they finish it with a few ladders. The final conundrum, up the side there, there's a rail you hang on to, and then you go up to ladders. A little bit of climbing, great thing is, not the biggest drop. The final bit of the ascent, loads of people, because they've all come up in the cable car. This is the top of Mount Brabant, looking at the Tour, the Mont Blanc Massif. And Mont Blanc in all its glory. Looking the other way, Mont Blanc. Coming down off the top of Brabant, a bit rocky to begin with, now we're starting to settle into some paths as we drop about 1800 metres to our destination and completion of Tour de Mont Blanc. A few railings. You have to go on the other side of the mountain. There we go. Came from up there, all the way down that mountain along this ridge. Fairly easy walking, to be fair. This is our path down. It doesn't look very steep, but trust me it is. Down all these zigzags and then across there somewhere. A few chains to help you around the corner. We've been descending for about 40 to 45 minutes now. Zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. When I look back up the hill, I can't see any paths. They're all hidden. Drop down from the mountain into the cool forest. You can feel the wind a little bit. So, losing altitude, got to lose about 2,000 or 1,800 meters or something like that, which it's a long way when you just go down. Say the second tree fallen across the trail that I've seen in the whole 100 miles. There are rails all the way down this section. Very civilized. Nice, gentle downhill in the pine forest. Yes, you got roots, but it's just gentle really. And it's cool being inside the forest with a tree canopy. Much cooler. A very big fenced off area. Chain link fence. Barbed wire. It's like, what on earth are they protecting in here? Because all the trees are cut down for a start. Slightly bizarre. What a nice little fella. Oh. Out of the trees. meter road and a car park and people having picnics. And so just see where this leads to. So into the last couple of kilometres of Tour de Mont Blanc. Wow, I think I have to redefine my definition of continuously stunning trail. The most continuously stunning trail under 100 miles is Tour de Mont Blanc. Over the 100 miles, 500 mile, 600 mile, 700 mile, Southwest Coast Path. And the only one I've ever done more than that, Appalachian Trail, well, doesn't really have much competition. But yeah, utterly stunning trail, utterly stunning. Unfortunately, we're looking at this from the wrong angle, but there is their statue of Christ. Last few kilometres, but we've had a redirection because there's forestry work going on. So roughly getting to the right place, but we have to choose a slightly different path and some roads, but it'll be the same. And rafting down the river.
Smash that like button. Woo!
Like and subscribe.